But we don't want to take away time from the case of Bacon Bitch versus Breakfast Bitch, do we? So let us discuss. Let us discuss the case of Bacon Bitch versus Breakfast Bitch. This is
I love this stream so much.
This is the best stream. This is Queen Hospitality, owners of Bacon Bitch, versus the company Breakfast Bitch, which owns the mark Breakfast Bitch. So we're going to read about the Florida Limited Liability Company versus a California Limited Liability Company. Florida and California coming together as one. Ah. This action arises out of defendants' unlawful. I should note before I continue, this is the plaintiff's complaint, not the court decision. So let's keep in mind this is the plaintiff presenting their argument, not the court conclusion. So take it with the appropriate grains of salt before we continue. Okay. This action arises out of defendants' unlawful attempts to enhance its business by, among other things, unlawfully imitating Queen's business model and intellectual property so as to deceive potential customers into believing that defendant produced it, unlawfully reproducing the intellectual property, wrongfully trading on goodwill and brand loyalty, unlawfully using a combination of words on its business material so as to deceive customers, and tarnishing the reputation. Tarnishing the reputation of business with the name bitch in it. I see inherent problems. As early as 2016, Queens has owned its restaurant under the name Bacon Bitch and registered trademark Bacon Bitch and variants thereof in connection with restaurant services and food services. Bacon Bitch, which is located in Miami Beach, Florida, provides a unique twist on comfort food, offering a wide array of brunch-style options. In one post on the Queen website, Bacon Bitch website, Queens writes that Bacon Bitch seemingly combines this comfort food staple with the highest quality ingredients and freshly baked artisanal croissants for a truly delectable and one-of-a-kind meal. Bacon Bitch has experienced dramatic success since its inception in 2016 and continues to work on its expansion throughout the United States. I look forward to it opening near me any day. On the menu at Bacon Bitch, the restaurant uses the following phrases to identify its entrees. Primary entries are identified under the heading Main Bitch. Side items are identified as Side Bitch. Add-on items are identified under Extra Bitch, and alcohol beverages are identified as Drunk Bitch. To protect its intellectual property rights on its menu, Queen registered the menu with the Copyright Office. Outstanding. Defendant was registered as a California limited liability company with California Secretary of State. According to its website, Breakfast Bitch website, which is operated from the internet domain www.eatbreakfastbitch.com, defendant is scheduled to open its restaurant, Breakfast Bitch, in July 13th, 2019 in San Diego. I'm not sure if that actually happened or not. We should probably check. Someone check for me and let me know if they're open or not. On the Breakfast Bitch website, defendant has previously posted content with description of its business model that directly mimics that of Bacon Bitch. Significantly, without providing direct credit to Bacon Bitch, the same website even notes defendant inspiration for Breakfast Bitch, writing that Breakfast Bitch was inspired by one of the hipper spots in Miami. Moreover, the proposed menu at Breakfast Bitch, posted to the Breakfast Bitch website by defendant, is a copy of Bacon Bitch, uses almost exact recipes, but notably similar to identifying entries. Primary entries are identified as Main Bitch, side items are identified as Side Bitch, add-on items are identified as Extra Bitch, and alcohol beverages are identified as Thirsty Bitch.
I'm looking at the website. It says that they're open, and their menu does indeed say what they are alleging.
Excellent. Fantastic. Defendant currently maintains a page for Breakfast Bitch on Yelp. Upon defendant attempting to register the Yelp page, the Yelp restaurant specialist assigned concerned that this restaurant was already being maintained. As a result of the confusion, Yelp representative was forced to contact Queens to confirm the page was somehow related to Bacon Bitch or otherwise affiliated. To reiterate, an expert in identifying restaurants was affirmatively confused of the confusion. That's pretty good evidence of confusion. Actual confusion always helps. Although, of course, it's enough to get you started. You know, you want to show confusion in the marketplace. So one person who's an expert in the field definitely gets you started, but the ultimate question of confusion is still open. To obtain a preliminary injunction, we must prove that we're likely to win, we must prove that we're likely to be hurt, we must prove that the balance favors us, and we must prove it's in the public interest. Yep. Okay. Queens has a substantial likelihood of success on the merits under the Lanham Act. Defendant has violated Section 43A by, among other acts, using the intellectual property or colorable imitation thereof in commerce with connection with the business, which is likely to cause confusion, mistake, or deceive. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Queens has a substantial likelihood of success under Lanham Act by using the intellectual property. Okay. Given defendant's refusal to cease using the property, defendant is willfully infringing the rights under Lanham Act and applicable law. Defendant's flagrant and continuing use of the intellectual property is unauthorized and already caused actual confusion among both consumers and industry experts. Among these circumstances, there is substantial likelihood that Queens will prevail. Just incidentally, while I'm thinking about it, recipes for food are basically not protected. So, as any restaurateur will tell you, people can and will steal your recipes because they're just not protected. Yeah. Suffer irreparable injury. Not only have defendants already tarnished the business, which goes under the business name bitch, so somehow we've tarnished it anyway, but there's no possible way to quantify the damage and the harm that we'll experience. Unless you're immediately enjoined, additional consumers will be confused. I would also like to remind everyone that an injunction is an equitable remedy, is never entitled to under law, and is a disfavored result. So we should not be unexpected if an injunction does not come because it is disfavored. The hardship that will flow clearly outweighs any potential damage. Queens will undoubtedly continue to suffer damage in the absence of preliminary injunction. On the other hand, they experience hardly any substantial harm or potential harm. To the extent defendant continues to suffer harm, a defendant is traditionally required to bear the harm of any conduct from its own wrongdoing. Furthermore, Queens is not in any way seeking to preclude defendant from lawfully advertising and engaging in the restaurant and hospitality business across the country. Queens seeks only to enjoin defendant from engaging in such business by using the intellectual property. I don't know exactly what their position is. Is their position that any business with the word bitch in it is protectable? Is it any business that sells breakfast food? I think they have a pretty decent copyright argument based on layout issues because, as we may remember, copyright of otherwise unprotectable facts is protected as to the whole arrangement of those facts. So the fact that the titles are very similar, if the recipe, if the items are very similar, if they're described the same way, if the physical layout on the pages, then a copyright issue would seem to play. But this is being brought as a trademark issue, whether the names are unusually confusing.
Well,
Okay.
I think that the similarity of the menus would go towards the confusion of the source, because trademark is for the source of goods and services, right?
Correct.
So if somebody not only has a similar name, but then they also have a similar menu, and then they also have similar names for the items on the menu, then that increases the confusion versus if they were, like serving ice cream and solely ice cream. Like you might not get those confused, right?
Yes. So I like what you say, and it's a very, very good point. So we can look not only to their names, but we can look to these additional factors as evidence of potential or actual confusion. So you're quite right to bring that out, that the menus by themselves is not really a trademark issue, but to the extent that people based on the menus are becoming confused about the nature of who's authoring the business, who's the source of the goods, then it would be relevant for consideration. So very good point, tactical. You're getting better and better at this all the time.
One of the things that Mr. Lin asks is, can someone be confused about the fact that one store is in Florida and the other is in California? So does that undercut the confusion argument that they're not in the same town, they're not even in the same state?
No, I think that's a relevant point, and might very well go to a weighting issue, and that would be probably a triable issue. I don't know that it's dispositive because obviously McDonald's, for example, is in every possible state, and so many other businesses are, and so the fact that one business is in Florida and another business is in California, whether or not they're related or not, is not immediately apparent. There are places that have somewhat spotty places coast to coast, and so it's a relevant issue. I don't know if it's positive, but it's certainly a factor to be considered.
And trademark is federal, right? So it
Yes.
applies to all of the states. So you can challenge a similar trademark that is used in any other state.
Yes, and but it is also state law based. There is such a thing as state law based trademark, unregistered trademark, but this is being brought on strictly federal issues because we do have a registered trademark in place. So that's pretty much the complaint, and we have an exhibit. Inspired by a classic New York breakfast dish, bacon and egg, cheese, Bacon Bitch seamlessly combines this comfort food staple with the highest quality ingredients and freshly baked artisanal croissants for a truly delectable and one-of-a-kind meal. No longer just for breakfast, bacon is more than food, it is an experience. Bacon Bitch, come and get a mouthful. Good. Okay, so now we have some menus. All right, so let's see how similar they are. Main bitch side, it looks like the fonts are the same. Uh, yeah, the fonts are the same. The layout is very similar. Extra bitch. Okay. Welcome to Breakfast Bitch, situated in the Hillcrest district of San Diego. Breakfast Bitch is an exciting new concept founded in 2019 by Tracy and Daryl Hutsana. Inspired by one of the hippest spots in Miami, Breakfast Bitch seamlessly combines comfort food and make your own pancakes at your table. Is that fun? Making your own pancakes?
So right here they say inspired by one of the hippest spots in Miami. So they're referring not by name, but that sounds like they're referring to Bacon Bitch.
Yeah, it sounds very similar, like they're being inspired by that, which may be a thing against them. And we saw that recently in the that copyright case, where it seems not to pay to say that you were inspired by someone. Um, is making your own tactical? You tell me. If I took you to a restaurant and I said you had to make your own pancakes, would you consider that fun? Would that be fun for you?
Oh, I'm gluten free. You shouldn't ask me.
They're gluten-free
Um,
pancakes.
uh, you know what? M maybe
But
because then you know that the pancakes are going to be hot and you can like add extra butter when you're grilling it so that the butter like fully soaks into it rather than adding butter on top.
yeah, I'm not sure if I'm buying the make your own pancake experience. Hmm.
Maybe you can make your own shapes, like do like a Mickey Mouse or something.
If they have cutouts in bitch related cutouts, that could be fun. Could I? Do they have
Pitch
do
related.
they have molds? That'd be good.
What's a pitch related cutout? Like a dog? Like, I
Well, you
don't
have
know.
cookie cutters that are inspired by the word bitch. I have all
And then
sorts
like
of ideas.
like boobs? I don't
Sure,
know.
why not? That works.
That's the shape I always go for when I make my pancakes is boobs.
I understand. Hang out at our Tipsy Biss for bottomless mimosa. Yes. Any place that has bottomless mimosas is my friend. Or try our signature bloody bitch. Ugh, I don't know that I'd. I don't know that I want to call it that. I
I
don't know.
would not call it that,
Yeah.
but you know,
Exhibit D. A bitch gotta eat. Okay, was this all their own menu? Okay, this. Oh, so this looks so similar because this is one menu. Okay, I feel better now. This is all the same menu. All right. No wonder it looks so similar. It's all the same thing. Okay, so we got menu do. Okay, so it is laid out very differently. We do see the titles are the same. Southern All American Bougie, Bougie, just called Bougie. Lobster, bacon bits, Dijon hollandaise, spinach and egg. That's pretty bougie. Bourgeoisie, yeah, I buy it. Brooklyn and Dago. Yeah, those are pretty different names. And I don't know that the recipes are even that closely affiliated. No, look, they have fancy. Same recipe. Lobster, bacon bits, Dijon, spinach, egg. Yeah, so they definitely copied the recipe. One called it fancy and one called it bougie. Bougie is a better name.
yeah, copying the recipe, changing the name slightly, but then saying that you're inspired by the other place. Uh, I
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's not strictly a trademark issue. That would be, you know, like copying another place would be a little bit more copyrighty, but And I see this as a triable issue. Yeah, I would take it
Then
to
we have some
trial.
evidence from someone apparently from Yelp. In the beginning of March, when I was employed as an inbound sales rep at Yelp, I received a call from Tracy asking for information about creating a new Yelp listing for a new restaurant. I went to the website to collect the information I needed, and the menu looked identical to a menu I had seen on another account. The menu looked exactly the same right down to the price points. I asked Tracy if she is familiar with Bacon Bitch, and she knew Chris Vislow, who was the owner. She told me she did not know Chris, but she was familiar with Bacon Bitch because she went there with her husband when they first opened. They had such a great time that they decided to do something similar. She then told me that her concept was different because they added a tableside pancake bar. Okay, uh, good. All right, well, that's the end of that complaint. So we will see how things go for Bacon Bitch versus Breakfast Bitch. Personally, on one commentator's level, I want all the bitches to live and succeed. So more bitches are positive. I support bitches. Yes.
Feminist statement of the year.
Yes.